wanna work it, now I'm running this. You don't wanna follow me, I'm up in front of this. Hiring in the jungle with the troops, trying to get it what it does. Battling and I ain't never lose, we some motherfucking warriors.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Manthus here, and today I'm going to be covering a special topic, but unfortunately most of the community might disagree with my opinions. If there is one thing that just about everyone wants, it's new competitive defuse maps. I feel the same way. Getting to play on new maps is always a really fun and amazing experience. What I don't understand is why just about everyone in the community always hates the new maps that come out. In today's episode, I'm going to be covering why I think Raid and Port are very good maps, and furthermore, why they should be competitive maps. Before you go and start writing a comment about what you think, please sit through this whole video, as I will be visiting the opinions of both sides of this argument, not just my own. With that all said, let's get right into this video. So when I decided I was going to make a video on this, I made a community post asking for people to vote on whether they think Raid and Port should be competitive maps or not. Surprisingly, the majority voted yes, which tells me that the casual scene of this game already enjoys playing these maps in quick defuse and ranked. So what I don't understand is why the competitive side despises playing matches on Raid and Port. Is it because these maps are more difficult and require slower, more strategic gameplay? Or because they just don't want to learn a new map? In order to figure this out, I read several of the responses to my post about why they dislike Raid and Port. Most people failed to give me a good reason and would just say something like, they are trash maps, but there were some decent responses. The first map I'm going to focus on is Raid, since it's been in the game for much longer. The overwhelming reason why people seem to hate Raid is because it's more T-sided than any other map. Heaven is too overpowered for the map, and that it's too easy to take each site. Although people think the map is extremely T-sided, I disagree with that opinion, at least from a competitive standpoint. More experienced players should be able to get more rounds on the CT side. When you actually hold CT properly, it's not that hard to hold A and B site. If you set up a default with 2B, 1A, 1 mid, and 1 vents, it's actually really easy to play a default position. The mid or vent players need to be prepared for rotations to support whichever side is being attacked, but by holding central positions, it's much easier for them to rotate earlier. Some people complain and say that A site is too hard to defend because normally only one player stays there, and that it's easy for him to get overwhelmed. That's like saying A site on Bureau is too hard because normally only one player sits intel or labs, and after killing him you get a free site. You can't expect every site to be easy to hold. That's what makes Raid more unique. Rather than having a bunch of objects you can walk around on the site like other maps, these maps are more open and feature a lot more open area and potential for attack from different angles. In addition, most people say that Heaven is too overpowered, that it's too easy to take B site if you have Heaven control. Well, let me give you some tips. Try double nading it or smoking it off. You can't expect to hold any site without utility in more experienced matches. Sure, it might be easier on other maps, but the main point I'm coming across for both maps is that these maps actually require people to think and slow down their gameplay rather than just rushing, and that's something that the competitive scene refuses to do. They don't want to rely on teamwork and utility as much, and they don't want to have two-story bomb sites. You know how many games have two-story bomb sites? Have you guys ever played Rainbow Six or Counter-Strike? This is just something that you have got to get used to. It might not be easy at first, but if you just practice more on these maps, they actually aren't that hard. The same goes for Port. Now, I don't even understand why people don't like Port. It's not T-sided, it's CT-sided like most of the other maps. At this point, it makes me wonder if people just don't want to create new strats for maps. Every single time I have played a tournament on Port or Raid, it has been a very close match. The games normally end with only a 3-round difference or less, and that should be considered a success for any competitive map. To the people watching these tournaments, they don't want to see a team completely blow out the other one. They want to see really close games that end in such a small round difference. Why do people always want to play the same 3 maps over and over again? Rather than just sticking to Bureau, Canals, and Grounded, play some of these other maps. Even Legacy and Plaza don't get as much appreciation as they used to. This competitive scene will continue to be dull if the same 3 maps are played over and over again. Recognize the fact that we should have 7 competitive maps, not 3. I know that a lot of people will still dislike Raid and Port, but hopefully this video has at least had an impact on some of your opinions. Please try to encourage your teammates to scrim on these maps and potentially even play them in tournaments. Thank you so much for watching. You can give me any feedback you want in the comments if you'd like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.